My name is Cyrus Tarani. I'm the VP of Marketing at Concentric AI. I'm here with Zachary Lewis. Zach, could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Zach Lewis. I serve as the AVP of IT and CISO for the University of Health Sciences and Pharmacy.
Can you tell us a little bit about University of Health Science and Pharmacy in St. Louis and your role within security and specifically data security?
Sure. So the University of Health Sciences and Pharmacy has been educating students for about 158 years, really focused on providing students with education and preparing them with degree programs to enter health professions and careers and serve as kind of a foundation for graduate and professional studies. It's the role of CISO and sort of CIO for the university with that data security falls under that realm. And we're very, concerned with protecting student information, employee information. There's a lot of regulation and guidelines around things called FERPA and health information. So, data security is a pretty big key piece of our cybersecurity program.
Around concerns around there's faculty, employee, student data, before working with us, what were kind of the challenges you had with securing that data, whether it's labeling, classifying it, et cetera?
Yeah. So a lot of issues you bring up there. I think one of the biggest problems for us is definitely data classification. Prior to partnering with Concentric, our data was, we're very big Microsoft shop, so it's scattered all over the Microsoft verse. We kind of did a big push a couple of years ago to get everything from on-prem out to the cloud. But then at that point, it was, what do we have? Who has it? Who are things being shared with? Are they going outside the university or staying inside? And really, we want to get our hands around that. And we found that some of the native tools and things we had just weren't going to cut it. The workload was too much, it was too complicated, and we needed something that could simplify that process and make things a little easier.
Was there a particular incident or situation that caused you to address it in 2023, or was it just you hadn't found a solution yet that could really address the issue?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both. I knew we were getting ready to start our data governance journey, and we needed to do classification. It's something that's had to happen. In 2023, we had, I'm not going to call it a cyber incident or anything, but we'll call it a cyber scare where, we needed to check something, and it was like, well, what's the best way to do that? Okay, let's use some of these native tools, like I mentioned earlier, and we found that it was hard. And our plan had been to use these tools to kind of classify and find our data. And doing this one little small, check on something was too difficult. And we knew doing it across, terabytes of data was going to be a process that none of us could handle. So we needed to really dive in and find a product that could supplement that.
Before using us, was there any sort of classification or labeling tool in place?
We had been using Microsoft Purview. Like with Purview, you have these trainable classifiers, and you have to train the tool to find stuff. And what I was having problems with was like, we're an education institution. I'm worried about grades. So how do I train a tool to look for letter A, letter B, and it
Yeah,
being graded, not like in a document? Like it doesn't have that sort of intuition, context clues to figure out what things are. Or 93. Like, okay, any 93? Oh, that's a grade. We gotta, well, no, I need context. So in this tool, though, like
exactly.
we went in on the first day of like looking, it's like, oh, there's a classification for student grade. We're able to really start putting a lot of processes in place to sort of protect that data based on its classification level that we set up in Purview and just rolling that forward.
And from the selection process around Concentric AI, did you do a proof of value? How did that proof of value go? And then in the end, what caused you to select what Concentric AI?
Yeah, so we did a proof of value. And I'll go ahead and even go so far as to say is we had Purview, we reviewed three I guess two other of your competitors, but three companies in total. We did a POV with you guys, and during that discovery, which was very easy to set up. I mean, it was like less than 5 minutes. I think I was on the call with your VP of sales and a couple others, and they were going through like, you're gonna have to click on this. This is gonna be 5 minutes. And I was like, guys, I've got it. This is easy. It's a piece of cake. And we were done. And things started scanning, and we found pretty early on, we had shares of data going to just anyone, so anyone could access it if they knew where it was. We had a lot of information being shared to Gmail accounts and Yahoo accounts. We knew that we wanted to get that cleaned up. So the proof of value in the first discoveries were great. Really linked on there, and I think that was a big selling point for us. Cost was a selling point. You guys were super competitive, And then, and I think one of the big things that you don't see, actually, it's two things that you don't see with a lot of other competitors. One, you guys, put dedicated people to me. I'm not going to call it like a half FTE, but having someone that I meet with on a pretty regular basis, and I can say, hey, these are the things we want to accomplish in the next couple of weeks. Your team goes in, Concentric goes in, and they actually do those things for me, which is actually pretty cool. And then the second big thing is not having any additional hardware or servers having to be run. I see a lot of other companies where I have to spin up another server, and that information bounces off there, and then they check it. And with you guys, it's just plug and play, go. I didn't have to have anything else, and I loved it.
And as far as the overall security stack, how does Concentric AI fit in? You talked a little bit about Purview. Uh, is it kind of the foundation when it comes to classification, data security?
Yeah, so the Concentric AI is a key piece in the security stack right now. I mentioned earlier how we were starting our data governance journey, which is kicked off, and I fully expect this journey to be a 2 or 3 year journey as we go down the rabbit hole and make sure retention labels are in place and classification policies are in place and things are shared and stored where they're supposed to be and everything like that. So Concentric now is a key piece in that because it's what's going to be doing that. It's what's going to be managing those policies, sending those alerts, finding those tools, that data, and helping auto label. It's overlaying right on top of Purview, right on top of Microsoft. No other, lifting, shifting, configuring was really needed, and now it's actively scanning. New stuff's found every time a new file's created. Concentric knows about it, and we can get it classified, which I think going forward is going to be absolutely needed.
From a data repository standpoint, is Concentric AI deployed across all of the data repositories? Are you starting with a particular one first and then expand with plans to expand? How's that work?
Yeah, so earlier I mentioned we moved from on-prem data repositories to all cloud. So all of our shares, all of our data has gone from on-prem to either SharePoint or OneDrive. And we're a big Microsoft shop, so we have those, and we have Teams, and we have Exchange. We deployed Concentric out, and it's ingesting all of the Exchange data, all the SharePoint data, and all the OneDrive data. So pretty much the whole Microsoft gambit, and it's ingesting all that.
Zach, I appreciate you taking the time today to discuss your deployment. We appreciate the partnership. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cyrus. I appreciate it.